Welcome to Lynn Educational Television. I'm Afton Dean, bringing you Classical Rams as they host Medford. Classical controls the tip, and they'll feature Jalen Johnson, Eric Solis, Edwin Solis, Jeffrey Barbosa, and Darrell Rucker to start this game. Johnson short with the 3, and Classical starts out a quick 0 for 1 from the field. For Medford, Jacob Whistler, Dominique DeLuca, Ryan Cafferkey, Tevin Cadet, and Kester Doves round out their starting 5. Shot clock winding down. Solis takes care of the rebound one-handed. Correction on one of the names, it's actually Kester Doverstan. Solis knocks it away from behind. It'll stay Medford ball. And a wide open look. Benjamin Rumnap from three-point land. Solis can't answer from the corner. Nice move to the basket, everything but up to head to Rucker. Rucker's shot blocked. Medford the other way. And backcourt violation. Classical forcing the turnover. Darrell Rucker with some good defense in the backcourt. Solis shot bothered, had to change it in midair, and Classical scoreless through the first 2.5 minutes of this game. Count the basket. And Medford will look to complete the three-point play. And I do apologize, as some of the starting lineups were registered incorrectly by the PA announcer to begin this game, so we'll have to find out with our scores table who's actually at the line, as number 0 is not registered on my roster. So a basket and a free throw and a three-point shot, and that's the scoring so far. Jeffrey Barbosa, strong move, banks it home, cuts the deficit to 4, 6-2. Good ball movement by Medford. Same shot, same result. Benjamin Romanap, and he's failing it from three-point land. He has 6 of the 9 Medford points. And Medford off to a quick start offensively, leading it 9-2. And Coach Grassa calls the timeout, looking to settle down his team. So Classical with a 10-3 record, 3-3 in the conference. And we'll see what Coach Grassa draws up out of the timeout. Solis, strong post move. Can't tip home his own shot. And fortunately for Classical, they'll get the ball back. Johnson gets the ball back. Barbosa kicks it out. Solis is shot off the mark. Another offensive rebound for Classical, this time courtesy of Jeffrey Barbosa. Nice move by Solis. And finally, one goes down for him. 2-on-1 break for Medford. And Dominique DeLuca lets the defender go by, goes to the left hand, and 11-4 Medford. Solis off the mark. Javon Carter up at the scorer's table for Classical. He'll get in next whistle. Brian Kafferke along the baseline. 13-4 Medford. Johnson's shot short. Classical ice cold right now. Solis with the steal. He has Johnson with him. Goes to Johnson on the break. Gets deflected out of bounds, and it will stay Classical ball. 26 seconds on the shot clock. Jalen Johnson behind the pick. And short again. And Medford well in control of this game right now. Johnson comes away with it. Classical doing a good job of causing turnovers early. It hasn't translated into any offense. Barbosa's shot off the mark from the corner. Ishmael Johnson at the scorer's table. And Coach Grassa going to have to go to his bench early on, as this offense is ice cold. Jacob Whistler. Nice move on Solis, and 15-4 as we approach the 1 minute mark here. Fast moving first quarter. Solis finds a cutting Javon Carter, who just checked into the game. Good defense by Barbosa and Rucker. I don't know how DeLuca got that shot off. He did, uses the glass. And the lead stays double digits. Johnson back rims it. Medford on the break. Good straight up defense by Johnson. Medford can get the last shot. And that goes. And that sounds the end of the first quarter. So Classical starts ice cold offensively. And Medford red hot from the outside, and they lead it 20-6 after one. (20-6), Classical down 14 as we begin the second quarter, and Classical has dug themselves a hole early on. Ishmael Johnson into this game. I believe that's Malik Anderson. Darrell Rucker gets into the scoring column. Classical looking to go on a little run here. Officials really making them play early on in this game. Just one foul. Knocked away by Carter. And stolen from behind. Both teams playing pretty active defense. Riley McBreen from the baseline. Malik Anderson. And no call there. Somebody gonna have to get hot for Classical right now. Shot clock at 5. Shot doesn't catch any iron. Shot clock violation. Shot clock winding down for Medford. They're going to have to make their move. Both teams taking some time to get into their offense. Medford will take it side out. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Going to have to be a quick catch and shoot. Another shot clock violation. Rucker, who's running the floor, will have to bring it back. And Classical will take it underneath the basket. And we're approaching the halfway mark of this second quarter. Classical has scored just 10 points. And blocking foul. Jeffrey Barbosa with a strong move, and he'll go to the free throw line. Makes the first. Edwin Solis, Jalen Johnson check back into this game. They're out there with Eric Ramsey, Jeffrey Barbosa, and Javon Carter. 1 of 2 at the line for Barbosa. And a nice move. As I mentioned, we do not have the name for number 0 for Medford. We will get that at the half. Solis wild with the shot. Fortunately, Classical with a couple offensive rebounds can't put it back. And another turnover for Medford. Classical is yet to let Medford pay for these turnovers. Johnson travels with it.
Get over. Come to it.
Solis sets the pick. Johnson thought about it. Costco really settling from the outside right now. Nice move along the baseline. 26-13. Javon Carter with the steal. Finds Jalen Johnson. And they're going to say that's out of bounds off Jalen Johnson. It didn't look like it went out off Johnson, but call will stand. And it will stay Medford ball. In and out. And they're going to call an over the back foul on Jacob Whistler. Riley McBreen back in the game for Medford. Johnson throws it away. Classical coming out very sluggish in this game. Johnson out aggressively in the backcourt and going to force Medford to take a timeout with 2:06 left in the first half. And that's some good defense by Jalen Johnson. And Classical 10-3, they clinched a state tournament berth earlier in the week and looking to improve their record and hopefully grab home court advantage for at least the early part of the state tournament. Never an easy thing to go on the road. And Classical faces a double-digit deficit, and they'll look to gain some momentum in the final 2 minutes of the half and hopefully go into the locker room on a high note. And not much falling for this Classical offense right now. Man, a good crowd on hand. Most who have been kept pretty quiet throughout this first half. Medford gonna have to shoot it. And they're gonna call a foul on Jalen Johnson. Benjamin Rumenep will go to the line and shoot 3. Maybe a flop there. Rumenep kind of dove into the defender, Jalen Johnson. But they do indeed call a foul. So 1 of 3 at the line. Good move by Johnson to push the ball ahead. 27-15. Classical going to keep that backcourt pressure on. They kick it to the corner. Finally a miss from Rumenep. Ramsey comes away with the loose ball. Jalen Johnson, acrobatic move. Classical ideally would like to get this to single digits before halftime. And again, we don't have his name, but number 0 flies right by the defender. Barbosa answers and draws some contact, and he'll go to the line as he was bumped off the shot. Barbosa just 1 of 3 at the free throw line. Makes the second. Near steal for Johnson. This backcourt pressure really bothering Medford. Solis tried to get it ahead to Johnson. And I think everybody saw that coming. Johnson was wide open. Solis's pass was short, picked off. Johnson commits the foul. Medford does have a chance to get the final shot here. Shot clock off, 25 seconds left in the half. And they're gonna wave off the basket foul before the shot. Medford will take their time here. Nice pick and roll. Johnson fumbles the pass, and he's frustrated with himself. And just a frustrating half for the entire Classical team. They will go into the locker room down 11, 29-18. And we will begin the third quarter. Classical down 11, 29-18. Classical facing a double-digit deficit to start the quarter. Solis wild with the three-pointer. 4 was a popular number for the Classical team in that first half. Jalen Johnson, Edwin Solis, Jeffrey Barbosa, and Darrell Rucker all had 4 points. Johnson running the floor. And that's something we saw a lot last season. Tipped out of bounds off Barbosa. And I did have a chance to get the name of number 0, Kirsten Dorstadt. And he is the game's leading scorer with 8 points. I'm not sure if they switched jerseys or he was left off the roster, but we have his name. And Classical will have the ball back. Easy layup for Edwin Solis. And Classical on a good run to begin this second half. Basket would have counted, it doesn't go. First personal for Edwin Solis, first team foul. Jacob Whistler at the line. Misses the first. Classical had a poor offensive first half, but they did play pretty good defense, forcing turnovers. 1 of 2. The lead is under 10, 30-22. Classical looking to go on a little run here. Not the best night for Classical and Edwin Solis from behind the three-point line. Classical can't answer. Thrown away, another turnover for Medford. They've been really fortunate in this game. Not letting those turnovers turn into points for Classical. An offensive foul. Jacob Whistler giving up the body. Rucker loses it. Rebound right into the hands of Dominic DeLuca. Lead back to 12, 34-22. Rucker tried to kick it out to Solis. And they somehow get that ahead. Good move by Ryan Cafferkey. And Coach Grassa not happy with his team right now. Classical had it within 8. And the lead back up to 14. Medford on a 6-0 run. Make it a 7-0 run.
Stay smart, beat it with the pass. Anyone's in the jam?
Costco with those 2 team fouls. Nobody in foul trouble at the moment. Both teams playing pretty disciplined basketball. And Classical will come out of the timeout. Solis makes a post move and ball out of bounce off Medford. And Classical will take it out of bounds underneath the basket. Johnson behind the screen. Nothing but net. Ishmael Johnson, Edwin Solis, Darrell Rucker, Jalen Johnson, Jeffrey Barbosa out there for Classical. Durastat. Aggressive move. And he'll look to reward himself with some free throws. Well short on the first. One of 2. Durastat with those 9 points. Floater no good. And we got a jump ball. Ishmael Johnson kept it alive for Classical. Johnson squeezes in there. Possession will go to Medford. And we got a traveling violation. Ryan Cafferkey. Edwin Solis wide open. And Ishmael Johnson, count the basket. Hangs in the air, draws some contact. And he'll be at the line. Makes the free throw. Ishmael Johnson getting some good minutes off the bench this year. And you can see he really worked on his game over the summer. Of course, a football standout as well. No help defense there. A little up and under for Edwin Solis. He has 8. Lead at 10, 39-29, Medford advantage. In a low-scoring game. Durastat comes up empty. Johnson out of the pack. Johnson loses it, and they're gonna get a timeout. One official was signaling jump ball. The other official was signaling timeout, and they will in fact grant Medford with the timeout. Medford preserves the possession, and that's a big play. Medford causes the turnover. And Medford's got to be pretty happy with the way they've played through the first half plus of this game. Medford, of course, a new member of the Northeastern Conference. And Medford will have the ball. 2:45 left here in the third quarter. And it will come back Classical's way. Good look for Solis. Front rims it. Solis, 0 for from behind the three-point line. And a big reason why Classical's down. The offense runs through Solis, and he's been ice cold. And we got a push-off offensive foul. Dominic DeLuca. Johnson airmails the 3. Solis saves it. Johnson gets hit on the arm. And he'll be at the line. Johnson making an impact off the bench. Comes up empty at the line. Classical looking to tighten up on defense. Ismail Johnson tips the rebound to Johnson. Jalen Johnson. They kick it out to Rucker. Rucker, no good from three. Duristat steps around the defender. Looks like he traveled with it. So they're gonna call a foul on Ishmael Johnson. His first personal, 5th team foul. Ishmael Johnson greeted by Kirsten Doristat. They're actually going to put Ryan Cafferkey at the line. Rims it out. Free throws don't hurt. Both teams miss a pair. And we're under a minute to play here in the third quarter. And Solis having a tough night. And Jeffrey Barbosa count the basket. And looking for an and one. And this would be big. Can't complete the three-point play. Medford's lead will stay at 8. Barbosa with a solid game. And an entire quarter to play. Classical will have time to get a shot off. Up to Rucker. Shot blocked. Good defensive stand by Medford to end the quarter. Classical makes up some room, but they find themselves down 8, 39-31, and we'll head into the final quarter of play. Classical finds themselves down 39-31 as we begin the fourth quarter. Classical will start with the ball. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot. Edwin Solis gonna keep shooting it. And why not? He's an outstanding three-point shooter. And just having a rough night. And looking to find his range here in the fourth quarter. Hoping to help prevent Classical from suffering their 4th loss of the season. Classical not helping themselves at the charity strike. Barbosa makes one. Classical gonna need some stops here. Near steal. Good defense by Barbosa. Medford will have it underneath the basket. 5 seconds to shoot. And they're going to call a foul on Ishmael Johnson. Looks like that foul should be charged to Malik Anderson if there is a foul. Classical over the limit. Medford can really extend this lead from the free throw line. DeLuca makes 2. Classical gonna have to put some points up in a hurry here. Time running out. Solis's shot doesn't go, but he'll get 2 shots. And that's just the type of night he's been having. Makes the first. Two of 2. 10 points for Solis. Javon Carter, Jalen Johnson set to check back into this game for Classical. The steal for Anderson. Knocked from behind. Kirsten Dorstad, who's having a great game for Medford. Ishmael Johnson, Jeffrey Barbosa to the bench. So Rucker, Anderson, Edwin Solis, Jalen Johnson, Javon Carter will look to mount the comeback for Classical. 6 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Solis halfway down, the follow-away shot. Shot clock winding down. Steal from Malik Anderson. And he gets hit on the arm. And they're not going to say he was in the act of shooting. So they inbound it to Rucker. Another turnover for Medford, but another field possession for Classical on the offensive end. Johnson ahead of the pack. Shot blocked. Whistler had 2 defenders waiting for him. Wisely pulled it back. Javon Carter up high for the rebound. Ahead to Johnson. Long rebound to Johnson. In and out. Classical yet to hit a free throw in this game. Or a three-pointer, I should say. Dominic DeLuca having a good game for Medford, 14 points. Three-point shooting, a big part of this Classical offense. And haven't been able to get it going all night. And that will get a timeout out of Coach Grassa. (45-34) lead back to double digits. Classical has not led in this game. And Medford started the game with a 20-6 lead. They led 29-18 at the half. Classical made some runs, got it to as low as 7 points, but that's the smallest deficit they've seen in the second half, and it's back up to 11, 45-34. Johnson gonna salvage some clock. Kicks it out to Rucker in the corner. Rims it out. And foul going against Classical. They are in the bonus. Malik Anderson picks up the foul. 8th team foul. Ishmael Johnson, Jeffrey Barbosa back into the game. DeLuca makes both. And Dominic DeLuca misses the lay-in. He gets fouled. And they're actually going to say the foul is against Medford. Interesting call here. Medford also over the limit. Javon Carter at the line. Gets the friendly roll. And lane violation on Medford. Both free throws will count. 11 points, but time beginning to be a factor. Foul before the shot. We're going to get Johnson, or it's going to be Ishmael Johnson with the hand check. Free throw doesn't hurt. Costco looking to run. Costco can't afford to take too much time off the clock right now. And another missed three-pointer for Classical. Gonna need stops here. Dorstat's layup halfway down. And a foul gonna go against Dominic DeLuca, his fourth personal. And they're in the bonus, so Classical gonna shoot some more free throws. Makes the first. One of two. And tapped out, and it's going to be off Classical. Classical down 10, 47-37. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Shot blocked. Ishmael Johnson. He's having a solid night off the Classical bench. Takes down another rebound. Jalen Johnson lays it high off the glass. He has 10 points. 47-39. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Javon Carter. That will mean more free throws. Kirsten Dorstat looking at his totals for the night. Let's go with those 10 team fouls. Costco needs to be careful here. Dorstat makes one. Jalen Johnson for three. First three-pointer of the night for the Rams. And the lead is suddenly 6, and it is a 2-possession game, 48-42. And you knew Classical was going to make one eventually, but many of us didn't think it was going to come with just over a minute to play in the game. And it has not been a pretty night from the outside for Classical. Jalen Johnson, big three from the corner though. Both teams in the bonus, 10 fouls for Classical, 8 for Medford. 48-42. This is the closest Classical has been since the first quarter. Javon Carter with the steal. Hangs in the air. Ball comes our way, and they're going to say that it's out off of Classical. So 48-44. Classical are going to play some aggressive defense. Double teamed in the corner. Medford going to have to call a timeout. So Classical turning it on all of a sudden with a minute left. And don't turn the channel. We could be in store for an exciting finish. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Channel 15 Comcast, Channel 36 Verizon, Lynn Educational Television, bringing you all of your local Lynn teams. 48-44, big steal for Javon Carter. He has 6 points off the Classical bench. Ishmael Johnson, Javon Carter, Darrell Rucker, Jalen Johnson, Jeffrey Barbosa out there for Classical. Edwin Solis on the bench. I'm thinking for defensive purposes. Good defense by Ishmael Johnson. And now they're going to get him for a foul. And that foul is actually going against Jalen Johnson, his 4th personal. Even if he makes both free throws, it will stay a 2-possession game. Ryan McCafferty looking to salvage one here. He does. And Classical with a steal, Jeffrey Barbosa. And all the way to the basket, draws the contact. Classical very fortunate there. Otherwise, they were going to have to start thinking about fouling to stop the clock. Turning out to be a very exciting game. And he should have 2 foul shots. Classical in the double bonus. Barbosa looking to make it a 4-point game. Classical will have to foul here or get a steal. Barbosa makes 1. And Medford inbounds it. but they call for a timeout first. Medford has to be careful here. Classical will be aggressive on the inbounds pass. Classical really needs a steal here or some kind of turnover. Otherwise, they will have to foul in this situation as shot clock and game clock almost in sync. Classical going to give their coach some gray hairs. As they went down to the wire in their previous game against Malden. Rucker knocks it out of bounds but commits the foul. And this will mean free throws for Medford. And Ryan Cafferkey at the line. Big free throws coming up. Makes the first. This would be a huge win for Medford. Cafferkey nets both. 6-point game. Johnson's shot off the mark. And gonna be Medford ball. Classical has to foul, hope for some missed free throws. First option is to steal the inbound pass. Blocking foul. Two at the line for Cafferkey, made his previous two. Looking to seal the win. Makes both. That should do it. Unless Costco can work some magic here. Edwin Solis finally knocks one down. Too little, too late. 0.5 of a second left on the clock. Benjamin Romanap misses the first of two. Misses both, and it doesn't matter as Classical will drop this one 53-48. So Classical with some very cold shooting right from the get-go. Malden led this game 20-6 after the first quarter. Again, Classical stayed ice cold into the second quarter, and we're down 29-18 at halftime. Looked like Classical was going to go on a run Medford withstood the run. Jalen Johnson, 13 points. Edwin Solis, 11 points. 8 points for Jeffrey Barbosa. 6 points for Javon Carter. Darrell Rucker, 4 points. And Ishmael Johnson, 3 points. For Medford, they get 16 points out of Dominic DeLuca. 10 points from Kirsten Dorostat. 8 points from Benjamin Romanap. 5 points from Jacob Whistler. And Riley McBreen adds 4 points off the bench. So Classical will fall to 10-4. They lose this one 53-48. I'm Afton Dean. We hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time.